Oh my word, Antoine Semenyo is such a great striker. 3 matches in the Premier League and he has 2 goals and 1 assist. 3 goal contributions in 3 matches. Yes, that is Antoine Semenyo's performance so far in the Premier League, and we're going to talk about how he was able to inspire Bournemouth to come from behind to beat Everton by 3-2 in their game that was played this afternoon in the Premier League. We also look at the performance of Thomas Partey as he was able to stabilize Arsenal's midfield despite being shown a red card in the game. It's not Thomas Partey who got the red card, it was Declan Rice, and yet still Arsenal managed to get a point in this particular match. Then we also look at Leicester City's game that they played against Aston Villa. 2 Ghanaian players were involved in that game, Jordan Ayew and Fatawu. How did it end for them in that match? There's more coming up right here on Sports Update Ghana. Please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So let's start off with the early kickoff in the Premier League today, and that match was between Arsenal versus their opponents, that is Brighton, and it was such a tough match, but we all expected Arsenal to win the game. Well, Arsenal could have won the game, but for the red card that Declan Rice received, well, it shot them by 1 man, and so Arsenal had to play the match with 10 players on the pitch after Declan Rice was shown a red card in the 49th minute. That means Arsenal had to play the rest of the game with 1 man down, but yet still they were able to get a point from the game. The match was played at the Wembley Stadium, and Ghanaian midfielder and Ghana's captain, that is Thomas Partey, started the match for Arsenal in the game. Well, Arsenal scored the first goal through German international Kai Havertz, who put them in the lead in the 38th minute, but in the second half, that was when Pedro got the equalizer for Brighton because Arsenal were 1 man down, so well, they had to do a lot of defending in the game. But when you have Thomas Partey in your match, you should expect him to give you some silky passes and also make sure he wins the tackles and is able to neutralize the opposition's play. But this time it was very, very tough as Declan Rice did a silly mistake, so he ended up getting sent off in the game. But for Thomas Partey also, he got a yellow card in the game. That was how it ended between Brighton versus Thomas Partey's Arsenal, as it ended 1-1. Well, Thomas Partey played the entire 90 minutes of action in the match, and he had a rating of 6.9. He had a passing accuracy of 76%, 39 touches on the ball, 5 long balls, and made 8 grounded duels in the match. That is Thomas Partey's performance for you after Arsenal drew 1-1 with Brighton in the match. Well, you'll be asking what happened to Tariq Lamptey. See, Brighton's right back got injured in the game, and I thought that probably the coach was going to introduce Tariq Lamptey, but unfortunately Tariq Lamptey was an unused substitute in this particular match for Brighton. Well, let's go on and do some more and talk about obviously the best match of the day, Everton versus Bournemouth. Antoine Semenyo's Bournemouth. Well, Everton took the lead and even doubled the lead. They scored the first goal in the 50th minute through Moise Kean, and later on Calvert-Lewin ended up scoring the second goal in the 57th minute. If you have 2 goals and you are leading in the 90th minute, aren't you going to be convinced that, oh, we've won the match so you can leave the stadium? Yes, that would have been the case, but Ghana's striker Antoine Semenyo had a different outlook to how the game was going to end. In the 87th minute, that was when Antoine Semenyo stepped up his game and managed to get 1 goal in the match for Bournemouth, and that was all Bournemouth needed to inspire them to go on to win the match by 3-2 after Antoine Semenyo scored to make it 2-1 in the 87th minute. Shortly in injury time, well, Cook ended up scoring in the 92nd minute of injury time to make it 2-2 between Bournemouth versus Everton. Later on in the 96th minute, with the final seconds to end the game, that was when Bournemouth ended up scoring their winner in the game through Sinistera, who scored the late goal in the match to ensure Bournemouth picked up 3 points against the Toffees in this particular match. What a game it was for Bournemouth to leave everything in the dying minutes of the game, the final few minutes of action in the game, the final, I think, 9 minutes, and that was all that they needed to win the game. Yes, that was all that they 87 to 96, 9 minutes, and Antoine Semenyo was the one who inspired this particular victory, and he deserves all the plaudits. See, this season, Antoine Semenyo has played 3 matches for Bournemouth in the Premier League, all 3 matches starting in the match, and guess what, in all these matches that he has played in, he has contributed to 3 goals at least. If he doesn't score, then he's giving an assist. In their first match of the season, it was against Nottingham Forest. He scored the first goal and the match ended 1-1. In their second game, it was against Newcastle, and yet still Antoine Semenyo was able to provide an assist for Bournemouth in the game, and this time in their game against the toughest Everton, he was able to score, giving him 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 matches. What a player Antoine Semenyo is, and I hope that he carries this fine form into the Black Stars as we prepare to play Angola and Niger in our first round of matches in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Now, let's wrap it all up with the match involving Leicester City versus Aston Villa. Yes, 2 Ghanaian players were involved in action in that match. Fatawu and Jordan Ayew, they were all handed a starting role in the starting 11 by coach Steve Cooper of Leicester City. And well, how did it all end up? It was Amadou Onana who scored the first goal for Aston Villa in the match in the first half, around the 28 minutes, with an assist from Watkins in the game. So Aston Villa ended up winning the match in the first half by 1 goal. Then in the second half, when Leicester City were warming up into the match, that was when Aston Villa doubled the lead to make it 2-0 with a nice cross, and they were able to go up by 2-0. Quickly, coach Steve Cooper had to make some changes, and he brought on 2 players and substituted the 2 Ghanaian players, that is Fatawu and Jordan Ayew. It was such a tough game for them, and after the substitutes came on, Mavididi was able to make sure he possessed the right wing position very well, and that was how Leicester City ended up getting a consolation goal to end the match 2-1 in favor of Aston Villa. So yes, it wasn't a good day in office for Jordan Ayew and Fatawu. Leicester City are struggling. For me, I think that it's high time that Steve Cooper leaves Leicester City. If Enzo Maresca, such a good coach, left Leicester City and went to Chelsea, I expected Leicester City to go in for a top-class coach and not a coach who is good at managing relegation battles. See, when you look at the track record of Steve Cooper, Swansea City, Nottingham Forest, he went there to ensure that he helped them to escape relegation, and Leicester City is doing that right now at the start of the season where they should be competing. The style of Leicester City is to be in the mid-table, and now look, out of 3 matches, they've drawn their first match, lost their second match against Fulham, and now they've lost their 3rd match against Aston Villa. And I tell you, see, Steve Cooper should be gone before the international window even starts. I'm expecting Leicester City to sack him right now. I don't have any issues with him, but I think he's not the right man to coach Leicester City at this moment. So, well, that's where we draw down the curtains for this episode of Sports Update Ghana. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. I'm out.